I am tired, but doing okay.
Yeah, same.
I hate it when I do, like, specifically in here for some reason, my makeup does not look like I want it to look. But then I look at the
It's always
video
on the
and it looks
day.
fine.
Oh, that's good at least.
Yeah, it is always on the day. It's like,
Yeah.
today I need you to be like on point. And it's like, I'm going to look terrible today. You're like, thank you for that. All right, we are media and let's go. I'm dead. All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Basically Unbothered podcast. Yay. Today we are joined by Lauren Marie. Hello.
Hi. Hey, I'm so excited to be here.
I mean, I'm so excited too. I was like, I've been in like a funk the last couple of days. And then I was like, I just got to make it to this podcast. And I'm excited because I'm so excited to have you on. And I have a couple people coming on. And then I'm actually going to switch my format. So like right now, it usually drops on Fridays, but I've been doing a little research with the help of a robot that some people aren't always feeling. Um, but I really was like, okay, what day is best for, certain podcasts to drop? And it was actually really helpful.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, oh, well, if you want to have, I use it to help with keeping my voice and my tone the same when I do my
Yeah.
social post. So it gets to see like episodes and things like that. And so it'll say, well, because you have this podcast, these are the days where podcasts normally drop. This is where we would recommend for you to drop. But here's another day. And so I've decided that I'm going to drop the podcast on Wednesdays now,
Love.
just from everything that it gave me. It said something like, oh, yeah, Wednesdays are a good spot because Monday and Tuesdays, people are just so focused with like the beginning of their day. But Wednesday is the day when people are running errands and wanting indulgence and having more time to listen to podcasts. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And then it was like, if you want to do Thursdays work because on Thursdays, sorry, I'm going to take this one out. On Thursdays, you, get to, what was the word that they said? You don't have as much competition.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was very in
I need to
depth.
do that.
I was like, it took me forever, and I've been posting on Fridays, and I thought that Fridays was a good, like,
Yeah.
this is a fun podcast, Fridays would be good. But then I always wondered about, like, how do people feel Saturdays, Sundays? Are they really listening to podcasts? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. That's so interesting because I recently changed my posting days from Wednesdays to Fridays. I'm like, maybe I'll switch it back.
Well, I don't know. Like, give it all your deets, and it'll let
Yeah.
you, oh, I'm bleeding. That's funny. Sorry. I like was making the tea and they have like a water spout and I'm the most accident prone person that I know. And so I was closing it and it fell on my finger.
My gosh.
And I was like, oh, that really hurt. That sucks. And then I just looked down on it. I was like, oh, it's bleeding a little bit. But yeah, I would just like give it, I try not to use it for anything. I'm a big proponent of using it ethic ethically. Sorry, my brain is like, how do I say this word today? But I've always been like the hard part is that I am a writer, but I'm also a business owner. And those two entities feel very differently
Totally.
about, you know, chat GPT and stuff. And I try to use it in a way that's ethical and that I'm not using it so much and I don't use it to like I'll use it for my blog post. I'll use it to, and I'm very careful with it. I was like, give me a light edit that still keeps my tone. But my heavy editing for my books and things like that, I don't use it. It's just a complicated space, but I do think that it can provide very good insights.
Totally. I have a very I know that people don't like AI, and I also feel like AI, the umbrella term, it's like, yeah, well, there's all these apps that use AI for no reason. Like, that's different than like
Mhm.
asking ChatGPT to help you. I also feel like since I'm very big into working specifically like with Black women and women of color, like I'm not in support of making Black business feel like they have to do it all when that is a resource
Yes.
that you can use. Like, I'm sorry, if everyone else is going to use it, we should be allowed to use it too. You're not gonna make me feel guilty about making running my business easier. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not subscribing to that part
Yeah.
of the argument. Like, obviously, I don't use random AI apps. Like, I don't use it to make my grocery list or do something that I can do by myself, but
Mhm.
I will use it to cut hours out of my day and make
Mhm.
my business run easier. And I feel like that's like I've earned that right.
I feel the same way. I've talked on TikTok a couple of times about how, like, even in the author sphere, like, it's definitely white male focused in general, but it's still very a white forward like sphere. And so
Mhm.
when you're a person of color, especially a woman of color in the author world, it's really hard. Your book could be amazing, and it's really hard to sell people on your book, which is why a lot of people go the indie author route. But when you go that, sometimes you don't have as much money because you're not being backed by this big company. And so you can't afford to get your book edited and cover designs and all of these things that you need. And if you use it ethically, it helps to bridge the gap that is a significant gap between people of color and non people of color in the author world. Before you just denounce this thing, think about how it can help everyday people, small business owners, indie authors, podcasters. The site that I use uses AI to create clips for me. Do you know
Yeah.
how much time that saves in my day?
Yeah, totally. I do the same too. I'm like, "I'm sorry. I don't feel bad about making my life easier. I'm doing enough ethically in the world and who I am as a human
Yes.
being that I'm not gonna allow someone to make me feel guilty about one thing that I'm using to make my life easier." Like, blame corporations. Don't come pointing your fingers at me.
Honestly, I feel the same way, and I've also had conversations because for my big books, Olympic War and Phoenix War, I used a graphic created by AI way before I was designing these books back in, I think 2023 is when the first book came out. So, like,
Mm.
back in 2023, before the conversation was even a real conversation, I found this cool app and I was like, "Oh, I don't," for the record, I asked my brother, who's a graphic designer, to help me design it, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and then he never got to it, and I had nothing else. And I also learned from my brother that graphic designers use AI. So, like, when you're contacting these graphic designers to do your book design or whatever, they're using AI too. So
Yeah.
I use it in the same way. I have the image, and then I've designed my cover specifically for me based on that image. And to me, that's like the ethical part. I'm not just taking this image and being like, that's it. I'm like, no, adding pieces, making it, feel like a thing. And book design is more than just an image, but people get so like upset about it. And I even tried to explain that AI is just trying to replicate our brains because they're
Yeah.
like, it pulls information from all over the place and it doesn't cite it or whatever. And I was like, that's what your brain does.
Yeah. Literally, literally, and it's, like, the same as doing research, like, again, I get it, like, I've seen on TikTok an app for, like an AI app that, like, shows you how to cut an onion, like, yeah, you don't need to use AI for that, you can go on YouTube and learn it, but for
Yeah.
things that are, like, real, I think it's okay, like, honestly, I'm such a firm proponent for when we talk about like climate change and all of that. I'm like, stop blaming the individuals when we know the real impact is coming from a handful of corporations. Like we need to turn the perspective elsewhere.
Oh my god, if you look up how much water Coca-Cola uses a year. It's so funny because people are so, like, into AI and how much water is being used for AI. The water that is being used for AI, by the way, which is significant, but again, they're not coming from the everyday users, they're coming from the big, big companies, is still less water than Coca-Cola uses a
That's
year.
crazy. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, you guys are brushing the surface with this argument, and I'm unsubscribing because it's not aligned with what I'm.
Yeah, I've always told people that the real argument is about regulation and not getting rid of it. And when you're focused on trying to get rid of AI, you're missing the bigger fact of that things need regulation. And because you're missing it, by the time it's coming to really need it, because you're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
It's like fighting against computers. Everybody fought against computers. It was a losing battle. Instead of fighting a losing battle, why don't we pivot and start working on regulation early so that the things that you are afraid of have like people are like, I don't want someone to use my image. Oh, guess what? It's a computer program. If you put regulations around it, guess what it can't do?
Yeah.
You're
Totally.
getting mad at a computer program.
Yeah.
But that's my little soapbox that I sit on. Um, but it's just crazy. Oh, before we get into our pop culture roundup, do you want to introduce yourself? We got into this whole conversation. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. I'm Lauren Marie. I'm a neuroscientist. I'm a subconscious reprogramming expert. I work with Black women and women of color, all women, but I tailor my content and my teachings to specifically speak to the lived experiences of Black women because that's something that I have found. I've been in the personal development space for over 6 years now. I've been a coach for almost 4 years now. And I just found that specific to our lived experiences has been severely lacking. So
Mhm.
I help women rewire subconscious beliefs, generational beliefs that get passed down and reinforced through life experiences, parental experiences, systemic experiences to create a wealthy and abundant life. I'm all about creating rich Black girls. And when I say rich, I mean in all areas of life, not just physical cash money, although that's definitely one of them, but rich in love, rich in friendships, rich in self love, just feeling like everything in your life is overly abundant and doing that mainly through neuroscience backed methods. But I am a spiritual girly. We do love a little woo woo also. So it's a good
Love a little bit of woo
combination
woo.
of the science and the woo. So that's a little
Mhm.
about me.
I love it. I am also very woo woo. I've been that way for a really long time, but I love like you said, what people don't know is there's also like a science backing to some of the things that people think
Yes.
are like crazy. And it's like, oh, well, did you know that long time ago, this herb that you're like, why would people use this to heal themselves was the only way that you could heal yourself?
Yes.
And people are like, I don't wanna it's even funny. My dad he's a little bit more he likes to call spiritual. I like to think of it as more religious because of the things that he won't do.
Mm,
So, like, he won't celebrate Halloween, and other certain things. And, his family background is that his grandmother, so my great-grandmother, was Native American.
mm,
Whoops. And, like, Michigan Native American, which I don't know if you know that, but, like, Michigan has several, like, Native American tribes that originated in Michigan or, like, were in Michigan,
yeah.
um, and so he won't use sage,
Wow. Okay.
and I was like, "Dad, you realize that this is a part of, like, your culture? I mean, like, you're not
Yeah.
connected to your culture because we don't have any connection to that, and Native Americans are also, as they should be, very kinda strict about what blood percentage you have to be considered or whatever. But I was like that's part of your like your grandmother's heritage and history and everything like that. And he's just so afraid. And those things as well are backed by a little bit of science. Like there's research into the scientific effects of burning sage and people just don't understand that part yet. But I do love a mix of science and woo woo. I
Yeah.
think that they blend way more together than people think that they do.
100%. That's what made me like I was always into the woo and I didn't need science to back it up to validate it for me. But once I had started learning so much more about like the neuroscience connection and like the physics and quantum physics connection and realizing like actually every single thing fully can be backed by science. Like, is it extremely complex quantum physics? Yeah. But that
Mhm,
is it hard to understand for some people? Of course. But that doesn't mean it's not true and, like, scientifically proven, and I just that's,
mhm.
like, my favorite thing about it because I think it's so cool that to me, it's like, what more do you need? Like, the science backing, the woo backing of people's experiences, like, it's giving truth. It's giving
It's
facts.
giving that it was there the whole time.
Yes.
It was Agatha the whole time.
Yes.
No, I agree. Even with crystals, people are so afraid of crystals, and I'm like, do you realize that this is just coming from vibrations from the earth?
Yes.
Like a crystal is a formation that has been in the earth, and depending on the vibration that it gives off, depends on how it can help heal you. And that is just science.
Literally, when people were like, "What is a rock gonna do?" I'm like, "Well, everything in the world that exists is made up of atoms that are vibrating at different frequencies, and the frequency of which it vibrates can attract the like frequency. And so, if you have the vibration around you, you can match your vibration to that. Like, why is
Mhm.
that woo woo? Because the word vibration makes you think it's fake. Like, it's real. It's
Yeah,
science.
but it's we were me and my friend were talking about this last week about how like even like Christianity has gone so far from what its original purpose was.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of it, you know what I mean? Like people just now regurgitate what they hear and don't consciously think through it themselves.
Yeah.
In the military, we call it drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Like, believe it or not, some of your people when you're in boot camp or when you're outside of boot camp and you're doing your training will be like, do not drink the Kool-Aid. And you're like, wait, I'm here and I'm supposed to be in this culture. And there's like, no, no, no. Think for yourself still. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. And so many people they just take the jug and just chug, chug,
Yeah.
chug. It's so crazy. But we are going to get into our pop culture roundup. Our first topic is Megan Trainor comments on her weight loss.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this in the media a lot recently.
I did. I saw a clip the other day of her, like, on a podcast talking about it. It was like someone else had clipped it, and then people were getting mad.
Mhm.
At first, I was like, "Okay, is this another situation where someone lost a bunch of weight and then said they, like, walked 10K steps a day?" But then when I was looking more into it, I know that she said that she was on a GLP-1 after her 2nd baby, which I don't
Mhm.
know how long ago she had that 2nd baby or anything like that.
Like a year ago, probably, a little
Okay.
over.
Because my thing is, like, if you're gonna be on a GLP-1, just be on one and tell us. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve is when the celebrities are on one and then they're like, "I've just been eating really healthy and, like, tracking my
Yes.
macros." I'm like, "Girl, that doesn't make you lose 100 pounds in 3 months."
I it's funny when the podcast was Saltfish and Side-Eye, me and my cousin had a conversation about that, and I was like, "I don't give a shit what women do with their bodies. Whatever you do with your body is your fucking choice." But, pero also, just be honest about it, not for yourself, but because you have so many people who are watching you and looking at you up to you and who are gonna think that if they walk 10K steps or if they just count their macros, that they can get there, and that's not true because as successful as it is, GLP-1s are not natural.
Yeah.
You like, it's and GLP-1s were originally created for people who have diabetes,
Yeah.
and so you people are gonna be expecting to drop this much weight as you did, and they don't realize that I used to be a personal trainer, so you lose naturally if you're working out 1 to 2 pounds a week. So it's gonna take, like, forever. Let's say you lose 2 pounds a week. That means that 10 weeks, which is, what, 2 months? 2 and a
Yeah.
half months? you're gonna only be at, like, 10 to 12 pounds, or sorry, that's a lie, like, 10 to 20 pounds,
Yeah.
which is n you know, we're not that's not that sig I mean, it's significant, but it's not the
Yes.
and that's only if your body responds every single week, and your body doesn't always respond every single
Yeah.
week. And so, that part really frustrates me, but I will say that the frustrating part is that people's expectation that because when she was 19 years old, she made all about that bass and, like, embraced her body, that she has no right to choose to wanna look differently or wanna
Yeah.
live differently 10, 15 years later. Like, you can embrace your body at all places.
Totally. I just find it like I still just never really understand why people are that attached to the people's bodies at all. Like, why do you care if someone's big, skinny, medium? Like, why, if someone was big, now they're skinny, or they were skinny, now they're big? Like, why do we as a society care so much? I'll
Mhm.
never understand. To one, care at all, but two, to care so much that you're gonna go online and like make a video about it or leave comments about it. Like,
It's
what else
insane.
is going on in your life? Like, nothing, apparently, if this is how emotionally attached you are to it.
Literally nothing. No, it's I mean, Lizzo had the same thing. I think that part of it is that, we talk about like a parasocial relationship that you'll have with other people. And when you start off embracing your body as a thicker body and you come out, people feel like you're one of them. And then when you change how you're living, people then don't feel like you're one of them and they like rebuke it. And they're like, I thought that, you were one of us and we were just embracing our body as it was. And I was like, you don't, you know, yeah, they made a song about it, but you don't really know how they felt.
Yeah.
Or you don't know if they were eating, even going back to, I don't know if this is in here as well. It's not, but even going back to like Ariana Grande even and how people
Yeah.
are making comments about there and they're like, you were healthier before. And she's like, actually, I was drinking a lot on a whole bunch of antidepressants. So was why do we as people think that we get to decide what someone healthy is? You know?
Yes.
I've dealt with that in my life. Like I was very, very skinny when I was younger. And so when I started working out and I started doing the protein and everything I wanted to do to put
Yeah.
on muscle and weight or whatever, I would post my progress photos because I was happy. I worked really, really hard to get to where I was. And people would always say, you look so unhealthy when you were skinnier. And I was like, I was, or no, they said, you look much healthier now. And I'm like, you guys don't even know. Like, you don't it's people think and they come up with this assumption of what they want you to look like,
Yeah.
and then they just put that on you forever. So,
Yeah.
like, for instance, I could look like this now. I've been really into yoga, so my body's probably gonna change again because I'm not doing heavy lifting anymore. I'm focusing on stretching and stability and everything. So, in a year, someone's gonna be like, "Ugh, her body has changed, and she's just trying to fit this beauty standard," and it's like, "No, my life changed."
Yeah.
What I wanted to do fitness-wise changes all the time.
Totally. It's definitely like a projection that people feel like. I feel like only people that are severely unhappy in the bodies that they're in right now
Mhm.
feel that strong emotional whether because it's like if you're too skinny, people are gonna be mad. If you're bigger, people are gonna be mad. If you don't look like you got plastic surgery and like 360 lipo, they're gonna be mad. Like there's one body type that people have deemed okay, and like if you don't have that, then people are gonna be mad and you are unhealthy or whatever it is. But in reality, someone who's okay with their self concept and their own body does not care. Like, I've never once looked on social media and been like, "Oh gosh, she looks so unhealthy right now." Like, I just scroll about my day because 'cause I'm not really concerned
It
about
like it
someone else's body.
No, it doesn't really matter. On to the next topic. Speaking about women's bodies and the changes that happens, Cardi B had her baby.
Yeah. I did not know that this was her 4th child.
Yeah, she has 3 with Offset.
I missed 2 and 3. I've only known about Culture. I did not know Culture had siblings,
I missed 3. I knew about 1 and 2, and now we're at 4. And this
which
one
is
is
crazy.
I mean, I'm loving it. I'm hoping that this is gonna be a totally different experience for her.
Yeah, I hope that it's, like, a loving, beautiful, faithful relationship that's full of, like, love and light, and that she's happy. Like, I
Yeah,
definitely
like, you
love and
deserve it.
support exactly, like, I love the idea of women who had unfaithful partners and had, like, children with them, finding a new and better partner and, like, being able to have a child with that partner. So
Mhm.
I hope that it's everything that she wants it to be. I thought it was so random, but I don't keep up with, like, necessarily what she's doing. Literally, all suddenly, I just saw that she was pregnant with this, like, new man, and I was like, "Oh, okay, a lot's happening, a lot's changed."
I I only knew, um, because of her court case that happened earlier this year.
My gosh.
She was talking, like, back then it was about I think back then it was for a different pregnancy,
Yeah,
but it was everybody was circling around that. I'm just so excited for her. Like, I'm hope it's giving, Cassie leaving Diddy and having a significant other that she feels
yeah,
comfortable with, Sierra living, um, Future and being in a relationship. I love when people I hate second chance romance. Like, second chance romance books gross me out.
yeah,
I love it when the book is, I had this horrible person, I left him, I got a new person, and my life is so much better.
yeah,
Like
normalize leaving them the first time.
normalize it not being okay, and that's fine.
Yeah, normalize them saying sorry as they should, and then moving on and being like, "Yeah, you should have said sorry, and I'm still moving on."
I had that recently in my personal life. There's an ex, I forget what my cousin called him, gas man or whatever. Like, we were really good, and then all of a sudden we just weren't, and he, like, ghosted me and pretended that he didn't care about me and was like, "You love me, but I don't love you," and all of these things, and it was like a back and forth for months, right? And then recently he reached out to me and he was like, "I did you so wrong. And I gaslit you, and I pretended like you didn't matter to me, and all of these things were all in your head because I couldn't, man up or whatever."
Yeah,
I'm not gonna air all his business out, but that was what happened, and I was like, "Thank you for saying that. I know that that was really hard for you, and I care about you as a person, but if you would have just told me that in the beginning, I would have given you the space to deal with what you needed to deal with, but everything that you've done and every way that you've treated me, and I'm I am a I don't like this about myself, but I will, like, ride it until I cannot anymore.
yeah,
Although I saw a singer say that, and she's like, "Because I'll go through it further than other people might, but that's because when I know when I'm done, and there's no going back." But I was like, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you came to this conclusion, but you can stay over there.
yeah. I release you with
I
love and light.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I truly wish nothing but the best for you, but I don't ever wanna normalize that. I used to be like that. I don't ever wanna normalize that anymore.
Yeah,
I don't want
100%.
it ever to be a thing that I think about, and so, like, that's what I'm hoping for Cardi B, is that she is no longer gonna accept
Yes.
this whatever. All right, our next topic is Adele, who I love. I
Yes.
love Adele. Adele is making her acting debut in a Tom Ford remake of Cry to Heaven. Now, I've never heard of Cry to Heaven in my life,
Me
so
neither.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
That sounds
Um,
like a slay. I'm excited to see her acting.
I'm excited. It was Cry to Heaven was a novel
Okay.
by the author Anne Rice, published in 1982.
Okay.
But I mean, the cast looks pretty cool. It's gonna have Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Adele, Ciaran Hinds, George McKay, Mark Strong, Colin Firth, Paul Bettany, Owen Cooper. There's a lot of I'm
Period.
not
It's
yeah,
a lot of
it's
men.
it is a lot of men. No, like if you could see the photo on Deadline, it's just showing a whole bunch of men and Adele. It's
Yeah.
like men of different ages and statue and Adele.
That will be I'm curious and excited to see. I feel like people are haters of people becoming actors, but I personally am like, let them try. Who knows? I feel like if you're creative, you can do other things. Like especially Adele, like especially singers. Like if you're a good singer, part of singing is acting and conveying
Like,
the emotion of the song to the audience. So I think
mhm,
they kind of go hand in hand. If you're good at that, like not every singer is good at that. I think Adele certainly is. So I think
mhm.
she's probably gonna kill it. And it'll probably be iconic, honestly.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. It says the story touches on themes of identity, betrayal, love, and the pursuit of artistic and personal freedom.
Mm.
And apparently the author of the novel was is also the author.
The screenwriter?
No, like the author of what is it? Cry to Heaven, who is, oh, where did it go? No, it went away. Anne Rice is an adaptation of Anne Rice's novel Cry to Heaven, but it says that Rice is also the author of Interview with a Vampire?
Really?
I have to look this up. I've never seen it, but I wanted to my
That
whole
name
life.
sounds familiar. Anne Rice does sound
Yeah, it's Anne Rice is the author of the original book, Interview with a Vampire.
okay, T.
Like now I have to see. I don't
Yeah,
even
I'll
like
be in
going to
attendance.
yeah, I don't even like going to the theater anymore unless it's like a big thing. But I'd go back to see Adele
Yeah,
make her
I'll
movie.
be there.
I am always particular, but I think that in a movie I mean, some people have disappointed me. Namely Beyonce. I'm not a Beyonce fan. I'm gonna put that out
Just put
there.
that out there.
It's not that I don't think that she's talented or beautiful or any of those things. I just think that I love music. Like you were talking about earlier, I love music that comes from like depth and pain or like what you really experience or what someone else experienced. And I feel like a lot of her music has just been what's trendy.
Yeah, I feel like Lemonade was her last good. Like, Lemonade, I loved. Like, I was like, "Yes, you better out your cheating husband." Don't love that she got back together with him. I feel like that really lessened the impact, but I like that one, and anything since I've been like, "Okay."
I've been out of it before Lemonade. There are some songs from Lemonade it was such a cool concept. But then I listened to like some of the songs. What's the on the floor, something, something on the floor. It just like, hold on, I have to look it up now because I have to tell you. I listen to it because even though I don't like it, I always try to give it,
Yeah, give it a chance.
yeah. No, which one is it? Maybe that's not Lemonade, and that would explain a lot. Let me see. Pray You Catch Me, I, I like from Lemonade. Sandcastles, I
Love
like.
Sandcastles. Yeah, I will say not all of them, like, Lemonade is kind of like a story arc, so on, like, the rave
Yeah,
part, I'm like, "Okay, these songs, eh." It's, like, the more deep ones lyrically, those are the ones that I'm like, "These are really good."
yeah. But there's like I had a friend and he said basically he was like, Beyonce made an album for people to leave their husbands, but she didn't leave her husband.
No, literally. What? And I would die for her to get on stage, get to a podium, and explain why, because from my perspective, no offense, I don't wanna judge people's looks, however,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
do you mean first of all, what do you mean you're with Jay-Z at all? But what do you mean you're with him after he cheated on you?
Have you looked at him?
Like, someone that looks like that,
Like,
you're
have
gonna
you
allow to cheat on you?
Oh my god.
That's
You know, there's
crazy.
so many theories about how they were actually dating really early, and there's some grooming theories that
Really?
have gone on there. I mean, their age difference is significant,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of conversation about them being a power couple for, like, money.
100%. Like, definitely think so. Definitely think there could I mean, I think that Hollywood is an extremely shady place, like, with depths
Mhm.
that normal human beings can't even, like, comprehend or think of because it
Right.
seems, like, out of this world and insane, but it's not there, like, it's
Yeah.
normal. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there was, like, threats to success and things like that, and
Mhm.
so many other crazy underlying things.
No, I agree, but, like, so her acting is just not I mean, there's times where it's like Kim Kardashian's acting. Her acting is not terrible when she's acting like a person she knows to be.
Yeah,
Like, if she's mimicking her mom or her sister or whatever, but outside of that, it's abysmal. The same thing with Beyoncé, like, it's so, like, her being in Lion King, I don't have words for how I
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the fact that you made Donald Glover, AKA Childish Gambino, act down to me, I cannot forgive that. But
yeah,
I will say that with Adele, I don't think Adele doesn't give me the you know, some people are doing it just because they can or because they had this dream and they just wanted to do it whether they're good at it or not. I think Adele is the type of person who's gonna, like, fully commit, train for this for months, if not years, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Before she puts herself in that sphere.
totally.
Kind of like Ariana Grande.
Yes.
Right, before she got back into acting, she was like, "I did vocal, coaching to change my voice. I did acting class. I did dance cl I knew that I wanted this role, and I did." I think that Adele would be like that, and Beyoncé would be more like, "I'm Beyoncé,
Yeah, like, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna speak into this microphone and I'm gonna give you nothing.
and you're gonna love it."
And y'all gonna eat it up, you're gonna pay me millions of dollars. Thank you, sign the check.
Yeah, um, but yes, so our next I'm dying laughing. Our next topic is that the first trailer of The Devil Wears Prada 2 has dropped.
Oh my gosh, I literally cannot wait for this. First of all, when I watched it, it genuinely looked like, Meryl Streep has not aged a singular day. She
I
looks
know.
same with Anne Hathaway, honestly, like, they literally look the same as
I
they
was
did in the first one.
Yeah, I was like I mean, I noticed, like, I have them now, which is why I noticed them. I have, like, my laugh lines right here,
Yeah.
so I noticed that, but outside of that, I was like, "Ma'am, did you just hit copy and paste from decade to decade? Like,
No, literally.
is this the real Interview with the Vampire?"
It's giving, like, 5 years later, not I mean, how long has it been since the first one?
Oh my gosh, hold on. It's been
A
I don't
long
even
time.
yeah, I don't even know if I wanna say it anymore, because it'll age me as a person. They're not showing me oh my god, that no. No, you don't wanna know.
When did it come out?
2006.
My gosh, so it's been almost 20 years,
It'll
like,
be 20 years it'll be like the
when it
20th
comes
year
out.
anniversary yeah.
And it's so crazy because literally Stanley Tucci, Meryl Streep, and Anne Hathaway, all 3 of them look like they've aged max 5 years.
Dude, Stanley is my god. Every
Love
movie that
him.
he's in, I love him.
Yeah, he's an icon.
Burlesque?
I want a remake of that one, honestly.
I read
Or not
something
a
that there was
remake, like, a continuation.
yeah, like, I mean, this is hard, though. I think I wanna be clear, Christina Aguilera is a beautiful, beautiful girl. I don't like to make comments on people's body and weights. Christina Aguilera was the makeup choices that they had to make in the movie was just so innocent, and you could really see, like, her, like, natural beauty, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, coming off of all of her heavy makeup and heavy, hair and everything like that, and to just see, like, kind of a more natural bare gorgeous.
She's never looked prettier in her life than in that movie, and I'm not saying that she doesn't look pretty, but she's so unbelievably beautiful in that movie, like, I'm obsessed with the way that she looks in that.
It's like gagging. Like, how do you look this I've said that so many times, like, she's never looked prettier than in this movie, and she probably looks at it and probably hates it, and we're just like, "Oh my gosh, you're so" like,
So beautiful.
I don't think I've ever seen someone look more pretty in my life than she does in that movie.
Literally, it's like one of those movies, you know how in so many movies, the main girl has so many guys that want her and you're kinda like, "Why?" Like, in that movie, it makes sense. Like, yeah, of course, every
Twilight.
single straight man here no, literally. Like, in Twilight, I'm like, "No one appreciates you or love you, like, I think you're hot and iconic, but you're giving no like, Bella's giving nothing. So
Literally nothing.
why is everyone and their mothers falling over backwards to ask this girl out? She's not even talking to you guys. She has no interest in you. She literally doesn't speak. Like, what is the appeal?
Yeah. No, but she like, in that movie, you could fully understand why
Yeah,
she like but yes, I'm so excited. Even though the trailer is more like a teaser,
yeah.
but still, it was the way that I shrieked into my phone is gonna be crazy, so I'm trying to keep everybody up to date with what is going on.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Okay, our next topic is, our last topic is a recap on All's Fair. Speaking of celebrities trying to act, I don't know if you've checked out All's Fair yet?
I haven't yet. Have you?
Yeah. Okay, so you know it debuted with 0% Rotten Tomatoes.
I did not know that.
By the way, I saw a post from Kim Kardashian is way more hilarious than people realize. Because she's kind of like this dry, kind of sarcastic
Yes.
humor that you gotta be in it to understand. So she's posting her and her co-stars, like, at another premiere at, doing something to promote like, TV show, and then the next post is people talking about how bad it is, and then it's another photo of them, and then more. Okay,
Yeah.
in fairness, the first episode was terrible.
Okay.
Like, it deserved 0, like,
Yeah.
it was terrible, and it was written by, what is his name? He's like he's like this big producer right now, and, Ryan Murphy,
Okay, yeah.
and the first episode feels like a man trying to write a feminine piece of work,
Yeah.
so it just feels really kitschy and, like, uncomfortable, and it's so I watched someone talk like, "It's so dry that I needed to drink water." And mm, it was so dry, it was so terrible, but I'm pretty sure that was the pilot,
Yeah.
um, because a lot of first episodes are usually the pilot episode, and so it gets better.
Okay. I definitely will watch it, like, I've seen clips. I do think, like, I don't know, like, I want to support Kim in being an actress, but she
Yes.
doesn't give, like, there's not even a voice inflection or, like, a change in her voice, like, it's just so flat and it's really giving nothing, and I'm like, "Girl, is your acting coach afraid of you? Like, why aren't they giving you real tips?"
I think that that is the real tip. I think that, like, when you go to a singing coach, right, they don't try to make you be something that you aren't. They teach you how to, like, if you're an alto, they're not gonna be like, "We're gonna hit you at soprano 1."
Yeah.
They're like, "Let me tell you how to use your voice as an alto," right? I think that her acting coach is like, "You're gonna be able to do one role or, like, one specific thing,
Yeah.
but we're gonna teach you how to be the most dry, monotone person," and it kind of works
Okay.
because everybody else around her is so expressive, and I mean, it honestly, it worked really well in American Horror Story, but American Horror Story is really campy,
Yeah.
but everybody around her is so expressive that, like, her being kind of dry just feels like her personality.
Yeah, and, like, that fits her character.
It fits, because she's kind of like, I don't wanna give anything away, but, like, something happens to her, and they talk about it in the show, but she kinda, like, doesn't emote, and they're like, "You need to start feeling this and get angry or whatever," and she's just like, "No, I'm just gonna push through,"
Okay.
and even, like, the feminist part of it starts to work better.
Yeah.
There are some, like, jaw-dropping moments, and I also wonder if Ryan Murphy made the 1st episode terrible on purpose, because everybody's talking about it,
True. And
and
he's been in the game for so long, like, I feel like Ryan Murphy is like I I feel like he's a genius at camp. So I don't know if he gets away from the camp aspect of the show, I don't know if it's gonna, like, hit, but, like, when he leans into camp,
it's
he is number 1 in my household. Scream
oh my
Queen,
gosh,
like,
yeah.
those are iconic.
I'm gonna see if I can find the thing to talk to, like, read it to you or whatever. Because best believe that follow Kim Kardashian. A lot of people don't like the Kardashians.
No,
Get
I do.
I d I think it's when you're in a business mindset,
Yes.
you get it. Like, I'm not saying that I approve of everything that they do, but, like, if you had a family full of business-minded people and they all supported you, you would really like, that's what the goal is.
Yeah, 100%. I wrote an article actually about them on my Substack, explaining like the masculine and feminine energetics between Kim, Courtney, and Chloe, and why there's so much tension between them. And like in that, I was like, I am not a hater of the Kardashians. Like I watched them, I learned from them. They are masters at business and marketing. They have created an image that has lasted what, like almost 20 years also. Like they're
Yeah.
still relevant, they're still in your mouth, they're still building and growing, and, like, at the end of the day, that's iconic.
No, to not to steal the words, but it's 100% iconic. I don't think I can find the thing, but no, it's 100% iconic. It's the goal.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want or whatever. Oh, there it is. It's the goal. Someone said Ryan Murphy's All's Fair debuts with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. The person commented, immediately press play. Some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my life, alongside the most predictable storylines and the most ridiculous styling. I'm obsessed. I need 14 seasons. The styling in this is to die for. All's Fair is Scream Queens, but for wine moms and millennial gays. You just don't get it.
Okay, this sounds like my kinda show, I actually need to watch
It
immediately.
actually, I mean, it is a little campy. The trigger, I haven't watched the one that just came out this Tuesday, but the one last Tuesday, trigger warning on it. But still, it's really good,
Yeah.
honestly. And it's they have Jessica Simpson was in the episode.
No way.
Oh no, it was because they're divorce attorneys
Okay.
for women.
Yeah.
When men are trying to screw them out of what they are owed for the divorce or whatever, it's I will say that, it is a thing that's weird and campy that kinda does have me
That's,
in
like,
a
my
chokehold.
go-to. Like, I'm the proponent for when I watch a show, if people don't like it, I'm like, "You guys just don't get camp." Like, this is on
Yeah,
purpose. Like Twilight, when
it's
people
not
are like, "Twilight's bad," I'm like, "It's camp." Like, sorry, you either get it or you don't.
Twilight, the 1st movie is just terrible.
Yeah,
Outside
yeah.
of that, Twilight as the series isn't bad,
Yeah. I
although
mean,
as
it's a cultural phenomenon.
it is a culture phenomenon. I will say, though, I still wish they had different casting, except for Emmett. Emmett was the best they ever casted.
Yeah,
The best they ever casted.
so
Alright.
good.
It was so good. We are gonna get into our next segment. It's a new one we're introducing, which is the WTF of the week.
Love.
Um, have you ever seen The Secret Life of Mormon Wives?
Of course.
Okay. Are you are you caught up?
I think I'm halfway through this season. I haven't finished this season yet. How many episodes are there? 8 or
Like,
10?
I think it's like 10.
Okay, I'm halfway through. I think I've watched through episode.
The way that I binged that should
I'm
be
trying
s
to drag it out so I don't have, like, depression because 'cause I'm like, "I need it. I need it
oh my
pumping through my veins."
oh my god. I wanted to too. I dragged it out for, like, 2 days, and
Yeah.
then it was just, like, maybe 3, and I was like, "No, I have to finish this." So, you know that Whitney is on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
You know that Whitney got eliminated.
Yes, last night.
So, it's WTF because is it really WTF or is it, like, deserved? So a lot of people are commenting on the fact that she got eliminated because the episodes dropped, and
And she's sad.
you could see how, like, power hungry she was. And some people are defending her and was like, I mean, she said she wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars, so she's on Dancing with the Stars. And some people are like, you kind of got what you deserved there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I love this question because I'm avidly into Mormon Wives and Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
I personally have never I don't wanna say never liked Whitney, but, like, never liked Whitney. Like, the villain edit worked on me. Like, even when people have said she had her, like, redemption and stuff in Dancing with the Stars, I feel like I'm a very good judge of energy and character, and I
Me
just
too.
don't fuck with her energy or her character. Does that mean she's not successful and ambitious and blah, blah, blah? No, like, she's still going off. Obviously, she's making money, she's successful, so, like, my opinion doesn't actually matter. However, I
Mhm.
still have one. And, it is that yeah, I don't think I never wanted her to win Dancing with Stars. I always thought her energy was, like, slimy and gross. I wasn't
Mhm.
surprised when I saw like, on Secret Life, she's always in and out, she's always complaining, like, "Girl, then leave." Like, obviously, you care more about the publicity and being on the TV show than you
Mhm.
do about whatever your complaint, your mental health or having good friends or whatever you complain about. It's like, there's not a gun to your head making you come. So you're making that choice every day to show up. Stop complaining about it. Either show up or don't, but don't show up, complain, leave, show up, complain, leave, come back for Dancing with the Stars, and then expect to win and get votes when this is a show where you win from people voting for you.
You're right. She should've expected, like, maybe she didn't think that it would come out in conjunction with, like, at the
Yeah.
same time as Dancing with the Stars, but you should have I would have gotten ahead of it, like, as soon as it dropped, I would have been like, I see it differently now, I'm so sorry. Back then, I was just, like, in a bad you know what I mean? Like, I would have
Yeah.
PR'd the fuck out of that. She didn't,
She doubled down.
and it's Whitney and Demi both gross me out. They give me very icky vibes. I also think that I like to think that I'm a good judge of character. I make mistakes because I have a big heart, and that gets in the way. But Whitney has always given me and not to talk because Secret Life of Mormon Wives, they quote way too many psychological terms without having any understanding. Like, they use narcissist like it's just a button. You know, that
Yeah.
lizard, lizard, lizard.
Yeah.
That's the narcissist, narcissist. And I'm like, not everybody is a narcissist, but Whitney does give me some very covert narcissist traits.
Yeah.
But she has the sweetest husband.
I know, and it's like, obvious when they'll like, he'll show videos of her being mommy, he's like, "This is the side you don't see." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I would freaking hope she's nice to her kids and is a good mother, but you can't just be one thing. You can't just be a good mom and then a bitch to everyone else you know."
Yeah, and, like, even the controversy she got into and I think that that's what people forget, and which is a blessing for a lot of people, is to not be able to remember all the things that someone's done, but a lot of
Yeah.
people forget the controversy of her baby struggling in the
And
hospital,
then yeah, and then her doing that dance. Like,
and
that's
it's
weird.
that is weird. I
That's
would say it was
very, very
weird
weird.
I would say it's weird for anybody.
Yeah, and anyone in their right mind, first of all, if your baby is in the NICU, why is recording a TikTok even on your mind?
It
Second of
would
all, if you're using the excuse of like, it's my way to distract myself in the way that I have fun, like, why are you setting up your phone in front of your baby that's in its like box and
Right, like,
dancing?
that's the part, like, if you were, like, in a bathroom just kinda doing it by yourself,
Yes.
I would agree with it more. But you just kind of, like, using your baby for clout, like, I want you to know that not even Kim Kardashian herself did that. So, think about And Kim Kardashian has openly said that when she was younger, all she wanted was the clout, right?
Yeah.
Even in her brain, she could recognize that her baby shouldn't be. Now, did she sell her baby's pictures? Yeah, but as is her right.
Yeah.
But that's different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, your baby wasn't suffering. Your baby
Yeah.
wasn't sitting in the NICU, and usually when parents sell their this is what a lot of people don't know, but usually when celebrity parents sell their baby's photos, they put it in an account for the baby.
Mm. And
And
I
a lot
also feel like the paparazzi is gonna get a picture of your
'cause
baby at some
anyways,
point.
you
So
might as
why
well
don't
make
you get
both.
ahead of it?
Yeah, but honestly, there's so many I know that the mom talk is known for dancing, but there's so many ways you could have shared that information. Like, you literally could have just been sitting in front of it with the baby and been like, "Oh, sorry, a service dog is just walking past me, and he's the cutest thing, and I can't concentrate while he's so adorable. Sorry, he's so cute." Um, but yeah, it's just like, you could have just been in there holding her baby and like, keeping your baby's head covered and holding her and doing something like that, but it's a common theme for Whitney to just care only about it, and again, I like the Kardashians, so get your bread, but
Yeah.
you do have to have a moral and ethical, like, line, and Whitney just doesn't have it, and also in her, like, interviews for this season, she's so cringe.
Really? I haven't watched any of their interviews.
Not that, but, like, the
Oh, in the, like, confessionals?
yes, the confessional. She's so cringe.
She's always so cringe, like, that's the thing, I'm like, I feel like she's so inauthentic, and that's the one thing that I put
Mhm.
above all else, like, that's why I'm like, I like the Kardashians because 'cause they're very authentic, like, at the end of the day, you might not agree
They
with
are
what
who
they're
they
doing
are.
or whatever, but they are who they are, and they're not trying to hide it, and they're not trying to be fake or anyone else, so I
Mhm,
respect that. And
mhm.
I don't think Whitney's authentic. I agree with you. Like, I feel like she's always calculating in her head, like, what's going to help my narrative, what's gonna help me get more famous, what's gonna help people talk more about me or get me where I wanna be.
Mhm.
And she doesn't care about any like, what happens as a consequence. So
Like, at all. Like, she will do whatever. And again, it's even more gross because, like, with the Kardashians, they had fights, but they were family, but they always had each other's back at the end. She doesn't have I mean, she has Demi's back, but that's because she sees this alliance,
yeah,
right? She doesn't have anyone's back. And that was proven when they did, what's that, like, game show or whatever where you have to stay in the Bedrock by Cozy Earth.
oh, okay.
So they did the Bedrock challenge, and basically you just have to stay in the bed, and then they give you breaks, to go to the bathroom and all these things and eat, and they decided they were doing this while she was doing Dancing with the Stars, by the way, which is outrageous
Yeah,
to me, personally, because like,
yeah,
you're supposed to like, you don't even have you said you wanted Dancing with the Stars so bad, but you don't even have the commitment to stay with Dancing. Demi does they do, like, lie detector tests because, they did the lie detector test or whatever,
yeah,
and they asked Demi if she thinks that, like, Jessie is a good hairstylist, and she again says no, and I'm like, first of all, I would have vetoed that question.
yeah,
Secondly, I put this on everything. You can't call someone your best friend if you don't believe that they are great.
yeah,
And Whitney just co-signing and laughing about it, you don't have anyone's back.
yeah,
And that's why people are frustrated with you. And that's why people feel like you're inauthentic because you really, truly, you make these friendships. Like you said, she's in and out, in and out, in and out. You make these friendships, but you don't really have any value in them because what you really want is just alliances.
yeah. And I feel like she does a good job, like, pretending to be different versions of herself. So, like, people on Dancing with Stars, people try to argue and be like, "Well, Mark and her, like, have a good relationship." I'm like, I don't doubt that when they're rehearsing, she's pretending to be a different version of herself than she actually is. Like, why would she need to betray Mark or be catty with him? She doesn't.
It's, again, covert narcissism traits. right?
Yeah.
Like, it's still all about you, but whereas, like, a overt one, you can tell. With a covert one, they're very good at hiding it in different people and everything, and when they get seen, like Whitney does, they bounce and then go find someone else who can't see it.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy. I'm
I'm so
sad that
happy she got
I'm
eliminated.
so happy because Jen leaving was really sad for me because people were really hard on her.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody, kept talking about how some of the older dancers are older and I can't believe that's amazing. She was 8 weeks postpartum.
Yeah.
And
Which I
maybe
honestly think I don't think she should have been on the show. I don't think she should have like, this season. I think that she should have waited
Mhm,
and gone on a different season. I don't think like, I think it's extremely impressive and insane that she did it 8 weeks postpartum.
mhm.
However, I think that that was not actually the best decision for her.
I agree, but then it was so hard because then who else did you pick?
Yeah, true. Like, it makes sense that they cast her and obviously she wanted it. I just wish she would have been
She
like,
would've waited.
yeah, and been like, "I really wanna be on it, but I am 8 weeks postpartum. I don't think this is the time." Like, I would love to be considered for next season, and I think they probably would have had her on next season, and I think that would have been better for her. So, like, I feel like that's sad too because I just feel like the timing was not
It
right for
Yeah,
her.
the timing wasn't right, but I don't have tears about Whitney leaving,
She
honestly. I
needed
think
to.
you reap what you sow, and I'm very, big about this, about, like, natural consequences. And people are always like, "Revenge, revenge, revenge." I don't need revenge because whatever you did is always gonna come back to you. And I
100%.
think as whether people feel a certain way or don't feel a certain way, Whitney got hers.
Yeah.
Is she a very talented dancer? Yeah, I think it was unfair that she was on being, like, you majored in dance?
And she had ballroom experience, which, like, other people before have been on that, like, did dance, but ballroom is obviously very different. But, like,
Mhm.
if you have literal experience doing ballroom dancing, what's why that's why it's also, like, I've seen people saying, like, "She hasn't improved since week 1. She's just been good the whole time." But other people are actually improving, and that's what's actually impressive.
Yeah. So,
Oh, good riddance. See ya, girl. I was so happy to see that this morning that she
me
was
too. Woke up, saw it on the drive here, and I was like, "Winning."
yeah,
Hashtag winning.
thank God.
Um, all right, now that we got all of the fun gossipy stuff out the way, let's talk about you. Let's talk about money mindset and all the cool fun stuff.
Woohoo! Okay, where should we start?
Where do we start? Okay, a lot of people are quoting. Where are my notes? I wrote notes. A lot of people are quoting, money mindset and everything like that. And I think maybe the first, thing to start with is like the misconceptions and the things that, TikTok is a really good place sometimes because it gets so much information out there, but it also makes people who are wrong famous.
Yeah, totally.
So, I guess maybe explain what like money mindset really is and what like some of the common misconceptions that people have about it are.
Okay. So, money mindset. First of all, everyone already has a money mindset. Like, it's money mindset is not something you need to like create for yourself. It's more of aligning your money mindset with what your money goals are. And something
Mhm.
that I have qualms with is that I feel like everything online is very surface level, very basic, and a lot of people repeating the same thing over and over. And I mean, I'm sure some of my content does repeat some of that stuff over and over because it's like level. You got to start with the surface level and then go deeper and deeper. But
Mhm.
I feel like a common misconception is that people see that surface level stuff and think that's all there is to do. And then they do it. And then they're like, why has nothing changed about my money reality? Like I'm saying the affirmations that people are saying. Like the main thing I always see is one affirmation and saying things like,
Mhm.
I'm rich, I'm a millionaire, I'm wealthy. I I love any personal development, money mindset stuff I see online because something is better than nothing. However,
Mhm.
I'm very results driven. I'm a scientist. Like I want to see the results. I don't want to just like run the experiment and get nothing. So, and I want people to see the results. Like I get excited about the idea of people actually applying it and actually seeing results. 'Cause I'm like, yes, you see the magic now, like it's actually working. And so affirmations like that don't work realistically. That's something that you do when you've already, like, gone to the root cause of your money beliefs, and now they're just trying to reinforce. But when you say, "I'm rich, I'm a millionaire,"
Mm,
that basically just goes in one ear and out the other because based on neuroscience, you subconsciously do not believe that, and
mhm,
therefore saying that is like throwing a rock at a wall. Like, it's just gonna fall down. It's nothing's going to happen. So, first thing, misconception is saying affirmations is gonna make you rich. It's
mhm,
not. Affirmations are a tool that when added to a bunch of other tools can be really powerful, but
mhm,
affirmations alone are not going to drastically change your money reality.
mhm,
Another thing I always see is a lot of, like, budgeting tips and, like, financial tips, which
mhm,
again, great. It everyone should be financially literate, like, you should learn about budgeting and investments and having an emergency fund and all that, like, you should be aware of all of that.
mhm,
However, a lot of those tips, and right now I'm doing a series called White People Money Tips to Unsubscribe From if you wanna be a rich Black girl,
mhm,
and a lot of those tips do not take into account the actual financial, like, realities that people are in. Like,
mhm.
people say, "Stop buying coffees every morning and you'll be rich." The $5 coffee is not the problem.
I'm so glad that you say that because not only is, like, I'm not well versed in money mindset. I do spend a lot of time in spirituality and affirmations, but like workable, thing is because it's like a whole mindset shift, right? So to me, actually not getting those $5 Starbucks is telling your mind that you aren't living in a money mindset and you are actually living in a deficit. And to get money, you need to live in a deficit. And to me, that's not like a step forward. You can always limit yourself without changing your like you can always limit yourself without changing that mindset. So, like, for me, I'm never saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna get that thing." I'm like, I can make some things at home." And then I love the indulgence, right? Like on Sundays, I go get my pumpkin spice chai and I get my egg bites from Starbucks. And that's my indulge, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
still keeping the mindset of I can do this. My mindset is just like, this is gonna be like a nice special thing that I'm doing for myself.
100%, and that's exactly the way to do it. Like, there's ways to work around being in scarcity or being in abundance. And that all starts with your mindset. It doesn't
Mhm,
start with your bank account. And like affirmations, I will say, one, something is better than nothing. So I would rather someone say affirmations every day than not say them.
mhm,
However, what I always tell people to make them a little more powerful, instead of saying, I am rich, I'm a millionaire, turn it into a question because your brain is primed to answer questions. So when you ask yourself those questions, your brain throughout the day is going to be trying to find proof or answers for it. So instead say, why am I so wealthy? Why do I feel so abundant? What makes my life so abundant? And then
mhm,
your brain's going to search for evidence. That's just naturally how it works.
mhm,
Um, but yeah, like people think it's black and white. Think I have to budget, I have to do this. I one another really big misconception with money and money mindset is the belief that money only comes from your paycheck. And that's something that keeps people so stuck because money's everywhere. Money can come from anywhere. There are people that get inheritances. I have one of my one-on-one clients when she was 21, she got one of her uncle's entire inheritance. She had enough money to buy a house in full cash, have a bunch of money in like investment accounts, all that. People
mhm,
get random refund checks in the mail. Sometimes your tax return is way more than you're expecting. People find $100 bills on the ground. People will give you free meals. You might win a sweepstakes. People win the lottery. Like, there's an infinite amount of ways that money can come into your life. And by expanding your belief around that and
Mhm.
expanding what your brain sees as possible, just doing that alone, you will start to notice how money is coming into your life from all different angles. So that's a really big common misconception, just thinking that the only way you can get money is from your paycheck. That also leads to trying to control where money, and when you're very obsessed with how am I going to receive this money, you
Mhm.
block money from coming in. So you have to really release that control.
Mhm. I think that that's one of my big issues is that I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to break. Like we talked about last week, like, I don't know if you heard last week's episode, but we were talking about breaking generational traumas. And I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to, break some of those and break some of the cycles and also the ideas that come from the cycle. So, I've been on a journey for a while of breaking away from the 9 to 5 and actually allowing who I am and my creativity to come forth. And
Yeah.
it's not been easy, I will be honest and say that I've lost a lot of things. I'm going to have to file for bankruptcy soon, but in the same token where I'm having that lack, sorry, someone's like dancing outside of the window. In the same token that I'm having that lack, I'm also saying, I'm not going to work towards this like paycheck being the stream of my income. I'm going to work towards my creative endeavors being able to fund me. And I don't
Yes.
know what that looks like, and I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I will say that, like, breaking away from this job, this paycheck has to be the thing. Because 'cause I'm not just saying I'm super into tarot readings. My last tarot reading that someone did for me was, like, a wealthy person is going to come and that's another thing, like, a wealthy person is going to come into your life, and I've never been like I don't like the dependence of money on another person.
Yeah.
But they're like, "Well, I meant a significant other," and I did a tarot reading for myself yesterday, and it had the same kind of like, "This guy that you've been dreaming for," and, they're like, "You're going through all this stuff," but you're right, you have to stop thinking that it can only come from one source, because if you think it comes from one source, you are limiting your openness, like, almost like if you are a house, right? You're only keeping one window open and you need to keep all your windows open to get that full breeze of energy.
Yes, 100%. I definitely like that is a big one. And the other one that I see come up a lot that I feel is very relevant for Black women and women of color is being
Mhm.
afraid of debt and like having such an attachment to debt. And like, I just I'm not afraid of that. Like, to me, when you have the belief that no matter what, the money is going to come, maybe it's not gonna
Mhm.
come on the timeline that you're expecting, but
Mhm.
before you get laid to rest in your grave, the money will come. Why would you be concerned about having debt? And obviously, it depends. If
Don't
you're
be like me.
super yeah, if you're like $200,000 in debt and, like, have people knocking on
Mhm.
your door, maybe try to try to figure that out, but there's even options like filing for bankruptcy, doing things like there are still resources that are
Mhm.
available, and being open to that is really important, especially, like, creatives and entrepreneurs, like, it's time to get comfortable with having debt, it's time to get comfortable with knowing you might carry a credit card balance, and as long as you're paying your minimum, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. I think I took it because my situation changed drastically, I took it too far, but you have to also understand that, like, anyone who's built anything outside of their parents giving them money had to build it starting at a deficit.
Yes.
And that's just a thing. While you're talking about that, I do want to talk about, how to build a money mindset and specifically like, we're talking about this generational thing, especially for, African American women. How do we break that like generational cycle that's happened? And how do we build our money mindset?
Yes, okay. Many tips. First of all, the way that you are going to change it forever and, like, really, like, rewire your brain is through
Mhm.
subconscious reprogramming. So using methods like I use neural energetic encoding, which is a process of, like, literally disconnecting old neural pathways and creating and connecting and reinforcing new neural pathways.
Mhm.
That's how you are going to literally rewire your brain, and then that's what's going to be because these beliefs and these fears literally get passed down in our DNA. Like it's called epigenetics. If anyone wants to look more into it, like trauma and beliefs are passed down through DNA.
Mhm.
So it's not just like what we hear and see and are told, it's also literally like what is encoding in our body. So subconscious programming is the fastest and most permanent way to do that.
Mhm.
However, how to start it on your own. One,
Mhm.
you have to become aware of what your beliefs and patterns are. The first step is always awareness. And it's something that everybody avoids because no one really wants to admit that they have bad money patterns or that they have these beliefs. People don't want to admit, like, growing up, my parents instilled a scarcity mindset in me. And that's not
Mhm.
necessarily like we're pointing fingers or placing blame or anything. It's just the fact of the matter and
It
how
just
it
happened.
was. It's
Yeah.
what they grew up with and what their parents grew up with, and it's what's been passed down. So get aware. And I would suggest pulling out a journal and writing down all of the beliefs about money that you remember seeing, hearing, or being told throughout your childhood. And it's really important to focus on first your childhood because
Mhm.
between the ages of 0 to 7, that is basically when your brain and your subconscious mind develops and
Mhm.
all of your beliefs get put into place. So anything that happens to you, anything you see, anything you hear in those ages, that's what creates your self concept and your identity and your beliefs. So you were told or overheard at 5 years old, we can't go to Disneyland, money doesn't grow on trees, like we can't afford it. You
Mhm.
now believe you cannot afford things and that money doesn't grow on trees.
I will say that I feel that, you know, intensely, because so for me, it was my parents were like, "Well, you can't have these shoes and these clothes or whatever, but you're gonna get on all these trips, so it doesn't matter." And they were like, even when I was older, there was a scarcity even in, like, heat. Like,
Mm,
Black people in heat scarcity is like a thing.
yes.
The fact that you are willing to be cold in your house to save money, it's like the craziest thing. Like, you are willing to suffer. Even when you have the money, like, there are people that I know that have the money that if they had their heat at to what would be comfortable, like, actual
Yeah.
comfortable, would be fine, would be more than fine, and they still have that mentality. And then one of the biggest things that I've learned is that, and I don't know how I got it. I don't know where this mindset came from, but having money, I equate with evil.
Yes. Totally. I feel like that's a really big one, like, because you know, the the discourse is like billionaires are bad people. Like there's no such thing as
Mhm.
an ethical billionaire and all that stuff. I'm like, wealthy people are bad or selfish and etc. And
Mhm.
while that could be true for some individuals, it's not because they're wealthy. It's
Just
because
because they
of
were
their
bad
character. It's
individuals.
because
Yeah.
they're bad people. Detaching that concept. So getting
Mhm.
aware of like what were you told growing up? What did you experience growing up? And
Mhm.
then being aware of your own beliefs and language. Like when your friends invite you out to dinner, what is going on in your head and what are you saying? Are you saying I can't afford that? Are you saying that's
I
too
am.
expensive?
Yeah.
Like those things can be true, but there's other ways to reword it. Like for me, if I'm in an era where I'm trying to save money because
Mhm.
like that's the thing, like money mindset, I'm not saying go spend, spend, spend. You gotta spend in alignment. So for
Mhm.
me, I when I'm like trying to create, I don't love the word budget. I always with my clients use the word abundance plan. If I have an abundance plan, I will decide when I create that plan what is in
Mhm.
alignment for me to spend on and what is not. And then you have to hold on to those boundaries that you set for yourself. So if someone were inviting me to something that was not in alignment, I would literally just be like, that's not in alignment with where I'm putting my money right now. And that is
That
what you
changes
could say
everything.
instead of saying, "I can't afford it," or "It's too expensive." Because, first of all, technically, you probably could afford it. If you have a credit card, if you have a debit card, if you have a little extra, if you wanna go sell something online, like, you technically could, and you don't wanna exactly, you don't wanna reinforce that belief that
Mhm,
you can't, but that doesn't mean you have to go. Just say, "That is not in alignment with where I'm putting my money right now." So focus in on, like, what are your language? What are your beliefs? Because that's gonna tell you where your subconscious mind is at. Like, the things that just come out of your mouth without you thinking about it are what your subconscious beliefs are. Those are the neural pathways that are just running on automatic mode without you having to consciously be aware of what you're doing. And by changing your language and, like, taking that moment of pause, you're gonna
mhm,
create new neural pathways that are in alignment with the abundance money mindset that you wanna create, and you're gonna
mhm.
start quieting that scarcity money.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that I get caught up in that a lot, and I'm trying to change it, and it's so but, like, here's the thing that people don't talk about. It's so hard.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing to do, and it's not something that's another thing that frustrates me about the TikTok stuff, is it's not like you go to bed, you say these things, you wake up, the next day you have one. You like you were saying about conscious reprogramming, like, it takes time. That's one of the things that when I pulled my tarot cards yesterday, it was like, this all started with this, situation with a guy that you were drawn into, and that led to this, and that led to everything falling apart, and which was the Tower card, and if you guys don't know anything about tarot, the Tower card literally means everything is falling apart, and I've never lived in my tower energy more than in this moment in my life. Like, everything around me is legit. I really wish I could make it up. It's legitimately falling apart. But the beautiful thing about it is that it does it because whatever foundation you've built wasn't a foundation that was stable. It was a foundation that you built because you were just learning or you were just growing. And,
Yeah.
the whole major arcana of tarot is a journey. And then, when you start like the Fool's Journey in the beginning, you're just kind of getting in touch with it, you know what I mean? And when you're just learning, you're not building the right foundation. You're building the foundation based off of the knowledge that you have. But
Yeah.
to get to your actual final goal, you have to really do work of tearing yourself apart so that you can rebuild yourself in the right way.
1,000%. I always say, like, at the end of the day, you have to be consistent. And again, like, I'm a neuroscientist. It's everything I do is proven and backed by neuroscience. And they say
Mhm,
it takes 10,000 repetitions to create a new neural pathway. So
mhm,
you have to be on it. And that's why I love coaching and like why that's where I see the power in long term coaching because a lot of people need that accountability. A lot of
mhm,
people need that support to be able to check in with someone every single day and be like, I've done the things that I need to do, and this is what I'm struggling with today. This is what I'm doing good with, and to continuously keep it on the top of your mind. That's also why most of my like courses, my main course, Rewire for Rich, gives subconscious reprogramming tools, and it's 21 days because 21
mhm.
days to start building a new neural connection, you need at least 21 days to do that. And
Yeah.
so everything is set up to provide the consistency because at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need consistency, and it's normal for people to fall off, and it's even
Mhm,
more normal for people to stay off when they fall off. Like getting back on is the hardest part because people feel like they lose progress. It's not worth it anymore. I have to start from the beginning.
mhm,
And with this, it's not starting from the beginning. That neural pathway is still there. You just have
mhm.
to start reinforcing it again and activating it again. But if you fall off and you lose 3 months and you don't do it, just start again.
Just get back on it.
Just get back
Just
on it.
Yeah, we're getting towards the close of this, but I love that you have programs. You know what? I love a lot of life coaches are like, you got to get it and you got to get it now. And that's not the reality of life. Like life is riding a bicycle. You're gonna fall off. You gotta find a way to get back on. And when you adapt that mindset, you don't feel so bad about falling off because you realize that that's part of the process. And
Yes.
after you get through that process, that you can get, then you can get into like eventually you'll get it. I was having a conversation with someone about medications, and it took me really long to get medicated for my depression. And I had to realize that like I'm at this stage now, but there was a gazillion stages that got to me before here. And that's the same with everybody else. Like I can't expect someone to be here when I had to go through all of this to get here. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So I love that mindset and everything. I want be able I want people to be able to find you. So where can people find you? Where can people, book these courses and everything like that?
Yes. Okay. Social medias. If you search Elevate with Lauren, ELOVATE on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Substack, you will
Mhm.
find me. It's
I'm
a
like,
black
do I
girl with
follow
a
you
big
on
afro.
Substack?
I just started my Substack, so that's a newer one, but I will be
Okay.
posting more on there. So Elevate with Lauren on any of those
Mhm.
social medias, I will pop up. And then my website, New Elevation. So that's where you can
Mhm.
find the courses, access to work with me one on one. You also can just send me a message on TikTok or Instagram, and I can send you the links if you have any questions. My course, Rewire for Rich, is only $44. I always say it's less than two cocktails on a night out.
Mhm.
I'm very big on acceptable pricing. That
Mhm.
course, I've had women manifest $3,000, a new car. I had someone manifest $50,000 for house renovation. So
Mhm.
definitely will probably make that money back at the very minimum. I would
Mhm.
expect you would make way more back if you're actually doing the steps. Again, everything is backed by neuroscience. I don't
Mhm.
want to put something out that doesn't work because to me that's embarrassing. A
Mhm.
lot of people in the space don't feel that way. I've done
Mhm.
many a course where nothing happened or changed, but I don't believe in that. So I do expect everyone to see shifts and see results with anything. I also have free courses on my website too that you can dive into there. All my content is like mini free courses. I give a lot, you guys. I
Mhm.
give a
I
lot
love
for
that.
free. So yeah, Elevate with Lauren on any of the platforms, newelevation.com for my website, and my DMs are always open on anything you can send a DM to. I will be checking it. So if you want to reach out, have any questions or anything, I'm always there too.
Perfect. I literally just follow you on Substack because I'm also on Substack.
Yay, okay, I'm gonna follow back because I need more people to like read.
Yeah. I do like a blog, and then actually this gets published through Substack. So actually I'll be able to tag you.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yay.
So it'll be exciting. All right. Thank you so much for talking. This was amazing. I wish that I have more time. I'm definitely gonna have to invite you back because
I
this
would love
was
to.
so much fun. I'm so like I'm just like I can't wait to edit this episode now.
I know. I've had such a good time. Thank you so much for having me. This has been
Oops.
literally my bread and butter, like talking about pop culture, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Dancing with the Stars. Like
We
this
are
is like a kiki.
we're vibing.
Yeah,
But yes, also thank you guys so much for listening. I will make sure to tag your social medias in the summary or the show notes for this podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Pure Tifa Podcast.